Welcome to TMZ Live. We have learned the FBI has reached out to federal Mexican law enforcement officials, asking them to spread the word to local police agencies to be on the lookout for Nancy Guthrie and her kidnapper. We know that so far they have not yielded any results from this, but there are some operating theories that are interesting, one of which is we are told law enforcement does not believe that she was immediately taken, if at all taken, but immediately taken to Mexico.
Right, and so it could have been done a couple of days later, although what we're told is that they've checked cameras,
Border
they've
Patrol
used the cameras at the border, they've been going back through all the footage, they have not seen any sign of Nancy. Now, of course, they also realize that there are other ways that she could have been brought across the border.
There were also other electronic devices, and we're not going to get specific, but we're told there were other ways that they were electronically trying to figure this out, and they couldn't.
Right.
So they don't know. They don't know whether she's in Mexico or not.
Hasn't yielded anything, but it is interesting that they are looking at that as a possibility. As you recall, one of the notes that we got had said that Nancy was seen in Mexico last Wednesday.
And they said, one of the notes said, I know where she is. You're going to go international.
Right.
So Mexico has been floated. They don't know. They said, look, we don't think she was taken there, if at all. She was not taken there immediately, but they just don't know.
And keep in mind, just for people in other parts of the country who don't realize that Tucson is very close to the border, about an hour and 15 minutes away from the border. So it makes sense that that is a possibility they would look at.
So we received another ransom note today, and this one is different. I will say that when I read it, my head was spinning.
Yes.
It is so technical and sophisticated.
There were a lot of terms we had to look up to try and figure out what they were talking about.
But what we've been able to glean from it and understand is that this person, and we don't know for sure if it's the same person from the original.
Same person, right.
A different crypto address, but they're asking for a different form of crypto than Bitcoin.
Right.
And the amount, and Charles figured this out because it was beyond me. I literally said, I give up, I can't do it, is roughly the 6 million that was asked for in the first
originally, right. So it's still in that neighborhood that they're asking for. I don't know. It is very detailed. And the other part of it is that they're putting the media, and again, we don't want to give away too much of what they are requesting here. There are reasons why we just have agreed not to reveal those things. But they are very much putting the media squarely as part of the deal as they're proposing it.
We're almost the trigger for the money.
Right.
And so a couple of other things. In this letter, and we are not going to get specific, they mention, graphically mention, the consequences in the event they don't get this money. They just lay it out in stark terms.
But to be noted, like, you know, every time we look at these, and of course we've been forwarding this onto law enforcement, but we look at it and go, like, is this real? And then you also think about the fact that what if it's not, and that this is just some sick individual who's decided they want to insert themselves somehow. They should be aware if that's what's happening here. Because
I have spoken with people in the FBI who have made this clear, that they are going to spend a long time in federal prison. That is a quote. That they are going to go after anybody who is trying to take advantage of the Guthrie family right now with a vengeance. And I can tell you, based on my experience covering cases for many decades and being a lawyer, they mean it. They mean it, that they will go after anybody who is trying to scam the system here.
Yeah.
They are also doing everything they can to find, who it is that is making these demands. They're trying to get in touch, and so far to no avail. Now, again, we don't know whether the person who sent us the note today is the same person that sent the original ransom note way back when.
Right.
We just don't know that.
Yeah.
There are other loose ends to tie up here. The gun store.
Yes.
We talked about the gun store yesterday. We spoke with the gun store owner who said that an agent came in to his store last week, and she gave him a list of names. We were told the list was around 40. He said it seemed more like 25 to 30.
Okay.
But a list of people who may have purchased a gun in the last year, and he didn't have anybody who matched.
Yeah.
We are now told nobody matched in all the gun stores they went to.
So far, all the gun stores they've gone to, no matches. And tracking that down, as remember, we told you that the holster was one of the things that they were looking at. You know, it seemed promising when they had such a small list as 40 people.
No, the reason the holster is relevant is we were told they were able to find out who purchased that holster in that area at Walmarts and other places. And what they were trying to do is see if somebody who bought the holster also bought a gun that would match the semi-automatic revolver. Right. But they came up dry. They have not found that yet. What else? So there is a team, actually, in the FBI, we're told, that is now specifically looking to see if
the clothing item.
Yeah, if they can match these clothing items and find, did somebody buy both the backpack and the jacket and or the holster?
And at least two of those items were almost certain were purchased at Walmart.
Interesting that we reached out to law enforcement and said, look, we've identified this jacket. Because we identified the backpack, and then a day or so later, they came out and said, yeah, that's a backpack. I'm told that they are not going to say that is the jacket, the one we identified. That I know that is one of the jackets they're looking at, but apparently sometimes the way it's shipped is slightly different. So it's not the only one they're looking at, the one that we saw, but they're looking at all these items to see if they can connect dots.
What's interesting is that however many people they get buying the backpack and or the jacket is going to be a much larger number, I would think, than the 40 or so people that came up with the holster.
Unless if you find one person who bought all three, that's probably going to be a lower number.
That's the unicorn.
That's the unicorn. Well, that's what they're looking for. They haven't found a unicorn. We're told they are. The way it was put to me today is,
shaking the tree.
We are shaking the trees, trying to find anything. They are going in all sorts of directions, but they don't have a suspect. And based on what we know now, they don't have a person of interest. They are just doing. And they're doing a lot. I mean, they are chasing down lots and lots of leads, but so far they just don't have it. That's not unusual, but it is a little bit unusual that somebody could do this in this time without a trace, without a camera, without.
It's been 2.5 weeks, but it feels like much, much more than that.
Yeah.
Partially because we know that there was, at least initially, there was a time constraint. There was a deadline came and that is now long past. So every day since then feels way more intense.
They are looking for any clue they can get, and we're getting, people are sending us things, and if it looks like it's anything, we send it on. But they are interested for sure in that original ransom note we got. And they're interested in that, the person who wrote those 4 demand letters. There is real interest there. But so far, I think the bottom line here is they don't know.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Kentucky, and I think that investigators have got in their own way on this case. I think that the police with investigators, the FBI, the local police, they need to do a better job of working together on this case.
Well, the sheriff, it's funny you say that, because the sheriff denies that there's a conflict between his department and the FBI. But there's something that happened yesterday that I find really interesting. The sheriff came out with a statement saying that they tested the DNA from the glove in Florida, which is where the sheriff sent it, and it went into the CODIS system, and there was no match. I am told by federal officials that A
The
DNA
testing had to be done in Arizona.
it has to be done in the state where the item is found for privacy laws, and that the FBI did a separate test in Arizona from an FBI-approved lab, and that's what went into CODIS. The sheriff made it seem like it was the Florida test,
Right.
but the federal people are telling me, at least, that it was the Arizona test.
All of that is a little in the weeds, except to say there's a difference in how information is being conveyed by these two agencies.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
makes
feel
you think-
totally
makes you feel like
kumbaya.
they're not necessarily on the same page
Right.
on some of this.
Right.
Coming up.
Brandi Glanville is finally, she thinks, solved the mystery of her face, of what was going on with what she thought was a parasite.
You really should change your breast implants out at 10 years, and I just didn't do it.
Be right back.
Brandi Glanville is finally, she thinks, solved the mystery of her face, of what was going on with what she thought was a parasite.
You know the nursery thing or whatever it was in school, the knee bone's connected to the blank bone.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the same thing where everything kind of connects because it wasn't the face
Well, there are
that
no
caused
joints.
the problem.
Yeah, there are no joints involved
You
here.
get my point.
So, but it did have to do with breast implants, her breast implants, and something that was happening. Obviously, Brandi was unaware of, but she now has a deeper understanding of how her breast implants led to the issues in her face.
I completely ruptured, and I had silicone all over my lymph nodes, and that's what's caused the infection in my face, and couldn't get out because my lymph nodes were all clogged. It wasn't until I had a sonogram. I was just feeling like maybe just check that too. Why not? I mean, I've checked everything else. I went to 21 doctors and I spent so much money. I'm just and there is such a thing as breast implant illness, and you really should change your breast implants out at 10 years. And I just didn't do it. I'm like, it's not broke, don't fix it. So I learned a really, really hard lesson.
Well, it was broke.
Yeah.
And what broke is
they
the
were
breast
broke.
implants.
But this is a big issue that people leave in their implants too long, and you don't necessarily feel something.
I know somebody this just happened to, and they just had surgery because of it, because it leaked. I know this, the saying, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm wondering is, if the breast implant is leaking and the silicone's going through the body, why does it localize only to the face?
She said she said it has the lymph nodes, because her lymph nodes were clogged, right?
And then
by
it
the
just goes
silicone.
up to the face.
What is crazy about this is how many years she spent trying to figure this out. She went to doctor after doctor after doctor.
Yeah.
And to me, this would be, if you're a doctor, this would be an easy find and fix. But
No, you're right. She went to a bunch of doctors over a long period of time.
All over Beverly Hills, some
Yeah.
of the best doctors, and no one could figure
And
this
that
out.
no one thought to. Oh, I mean, I guess she wasn't
you're
complaining
right.
about. She wasn't complaining about any issues.
We've been talking
to
about
deal
this
with
for
her
like
breast.
2
but
or
don't
3
you do
years.
like a general MRI or something, a scan, to see what's going on in the body?
And then it would just detect
Something.
up here.
Wow.
I mean,
you.
none of us
it's
are
been
doctors.
2 or
I know,
3
but it's too bad he didn't work for one.
What?
Could have saved Brandi
It's been
Glanville
2
a
or
lot
3
of grief.
years. It's crazy.
It has literally been 2 or 3
2
years.
or 3 years that we've been talking about this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it is an important piece of information for people to know about the breast implants. Just because you don't feel something doesn't mean that there isn't something going wrong.
Natasha from Tampa, Florida. Her experience has definitely been a huge wake-up call for me personally, because I've had my implants in for 11 years now. So I'm definitely thinking that it's time for a checkup. And I've also heard of other celebrities with similar stories. So it's just important to stay on top of your health.
Are you thinking of removing them?
I have thought about that, but I do personally love the look. I'm not going to lie. And I feel super comfortable with them. So far, I have not had any bad experience, but I do have to go get checked because now I'm really scared. I would not want something like that to happen to me.
Always get the checkup. Shia LaBeouf was not going to miss out on the final day of the Mardi Gras celebrations in New Orleans, even though he'd been arrested over the weekend after getting into a fight
And
where really
beat up.
he was getting beat up.
Yeah, he ended up in an ambulance.
So, a couple of things. First, last night he was back out after the arrest, after being taken by an ambulance. He was back on Bourbon Street, hanging with the locals, doing the Mardi Gras celebration, the final night. Interesting, he did not have a drink in his hand.
That's the point, right?
Just eating, and I guess that's an improvement over what was happening on the weekend.
What's amazing is he doesn't have any bruises.
Yeah, although, is there a little swelling on his forehead? It would make sense if there is, because
He was beaten to a pulp.
well, we showed you the video yesterday where he was getting beat up, but it turns out he actually delivered a blow or two himself, because we got video of him headbutting someone.
It's entertaining to watch, but it's also extremely concerning. Like, this is a guy
who's had addiction
battled
issues.
substance abuse issues. He's back on Bourbon Street a day after being arrested. We know now that him and Mia Goth split last year quietly.
right.
They have a daughter together. So, and we're being told now from sources that she's obviously very concerned with what she's seeing
all
on
these
the
videos.
internet.
And
Yeah.
So, I mean, someone needs to step in and help this guy.
But you know,
'cause-
at a point, you know, it's one of those things. How do you do that if the person doesn't want it? How do you
Yeah.
do that? And that's the biggest conundrum with people with substance abuse, that they've got to want it too. And I'm not saying he does or doesn't, and he probably doesn't want to be in that state, but he is. I mean, at least the other night he was.
Yeah, he moved.
for
We found
several
out the
nights,
reason
and-
he's down there, actually, we originally thought maybe it was just a trip to Mardi Gras, but he actually moved to New Orleans.
Oh, I didn't know he lived
Yeah,
there.
so he bought a house there because he wanted to live closer to his dad. I guess his dad lives in the area,
Right.
so that's why he keeps popping up in Louisiana. He lives
So
there.
he's not just there just
No,
for Mardi
no,
Gras.
no, he
He's
lives
living
there.
down there now.
Boy,
Well,
living in
that's-
New Orleans when you have
that
a
is
substance
a
abuse problem is slippery slope.
Difficult.
Kevin from Chicago, Illinois. And I feel her husband isn't really making their situation look good. But I also believe he enjoyed getting a rise out of bringing harm to other people, because that's what he likes. And it really shows that he doesn't want to be helped. And it doesn't make their situation look good. But I think Shia should just really get himself together, because
Well,
he
you know,
has.
but he did have a fairly long period of sobriety. So, you know,
Yeah, and so obviously, in those good moments,
he wanted it.
he wanted it, and she was probably comfortable with the way their relationship was going. But
It can ruin relationships.
yeah.
Coming up.
We told you yesterday about this new podcast that Armie Hammer's mother, Dru Hammer, was thinking she wants to do. Actually, she is going to do this. The podcast is about giving canceled men an opportunity to explain themselves.
We want to give people the opportunity to talk, and maybe not even just men, maybe women as well.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. So this is great. We told you yesterday about this new podcast that Armie Hammer's mother, Dru Hammer, was thinking she wants to do. Actually, she is going to do this. She and her partner, John Luciano. And the podcast is about giving canceled men an opportunity to explain themselves, to talk about how either they were wronged or how they've been changed by this experience or grown from this experience.
And the twist to this is the canceled men who she has selected, or at least kind of
would
put
like
forward, because they run in a range from they were innocent to they are guilty.
Yes, guilty as in like in prison, convicted and in prison.
So how do all these people fit under that umbrella is what we want to find out.
Well, let's find out from Dru herself. Joining us right now, Dru Hammer,
Okay.
welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you for having me, and I'm very happy to explain this because obviously I have been through this personally with a member of my family. And, you know, Armie went through many trials. The interesting thing is the girls who accused him of rape, they actually stayed in my home. I've been to dinner with them. They were madly in love with him. And, you know, he didn't want to fight back because I mean, I called him one day and I'm like, okay, if you won't fight back, because I am a mama bear and I want to defend my son. And I always say, not everyone has $10 million to defend themselves like Johnny Depp did. And obviously he was wronged. Was he perfect in the situation? Nobody's perfect in a situation, right? But I think there's a place for Me Too. There absolutely is a place. There's been years of abuse, but also in cancel culture or anything else, there are times where the men are not allowed to defend themselves because they're immediately attacked. And we thought, you know what? Here's the bottom line. Every heart has been hammered. Not everyone is right, but we also learn. And I think God never wastes a trial. So we want to give people a chance to talk.
Let me ask you something about that, though.
Okay.
So you've got Armie, who was under a police microscope for 2 years, and
Yes.
they said nothing there, and they dropped it. So I get it. And then you have Danny Masterson on the other side, who was convicted of rape. And, you know, that's a different situation. So what's the conceit of this podcast? Is it to give men a voice who are actually innocent, or for men to express remorse if they're not?
Well, I think all of the above. And by the way, I think that we all need some form of faith. This is not a religious podcast. I don't even like religion, to be perfectly honest. But what I do know is I think when we are quote unquote hammered, then we have to rely on something bigger than ourselves, because we may have gotten ourselves into a situation, but I think there's a God who can help us out. And we also want to talk to these people and say, what have you learned from these mistakes? Because we've all made mistakes. I mean, I'm the poster child of making mistakes. But the key is, have we learned from making our mistakes? Have you gone to those people? Have you repented? Have you asked them forgiveness? You know, we all have to pay our penance, if you will, but we want to give people the opportunity to talk, and maybe not even just men, maybe women as well.
So, Dru, some of the other names that came out on this dream list of guests: Kanye West, Kevin Spacey, Matt Lauer. I'm sure that you probably have heard some of the backlash to when this list came out. Women in particular feel that this is disrespectful to victims.
Yes, and rightfully so. I think I can give you a perfect example about that. Is I met Mel Gibson when he was being interviewed by Kathy Lee Gifford. It was a closed set, but they allowed me to be in there. And he came right up to me and he said, Dru, you know, when you're drunk, you say things you don't mean, you do stupid things. And he said, I said terrible things about the Jewish people. And I have not only repented for that, but I have actually been studying the Jewish faith and their deep faith in God. And I have gotten to know a lot of them. And I have learned from that mistake. And I am in love with the Jewish people now. But people are less quick to forgive than God is.
Yeah, and
I think that's true.
That probably is true. So my guess is, and I'm just going to take a wild guess, Dru. First guess is going to be your son.
Well, I would assume so. You know, at first when we went to him and we're like, Armie, we want you to be our first guest. Well, we have a joke because I'm always handing out these little pocket Jesuses. I actually have one here I can show you. But anyway, he goes, Mom, I would rather swallow a handful of pocket Jesuses than be on that. And now he's laughing about it, because I think at first he thought, this is never going to happen, you know, whatever. But at the time, Armie was the #3 person in the world Googled because it was the perfect storm. It was right in the middle of, the whole cancel culture and right in the middle of COVID when people were stuck in their rooms and they couldn't go to work, they couldn't go to restaurants, and it was a feeding frenzy. So I said, well, Armie, I think you should at least tell your side about this because I knew these women. And by the way, the very woman that accused him of rape, she wouldn't even sign the affidavit because she knew it was a lie. And she also we have we have literal texts where she said, well, I can't come forward with rape. It was consensual. So we have all that. So she couldn't even sign the affidavit to go forward with the attorney. So there you go. Let's let people have the chance to speak their truth.
So, Dru, I know you've said this a couple times in the last few minutes where you said people have been hammered. It almost sounds like that would be the right title for the podcast, but I understand that Hollywood and Divine is what you're going with. Unhammered, maybe. We're just suggesting maybe a change in title. You're going with Hollywood and Divine, but...
I wrote a book, and it's called Hammered, and it describes everything that's happened in my life, so I figured it might be a little redundant. But here's the reality. If you're over about 2 years old, your heart's been hammered. And we've all been hurt by people. We've all made huge mistakes, but I believe in redemption.
All right.
Congratulations on the podcast.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. We're
Thanks,
very
Dru.
excited.
All right.
Coming up.
You know that you are definitely reaching another level in your relationship when you are willing to do something as embarrassing as karaoke.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. You know that you are definitely reaching another level in your relationship when you are willing to do something as embarrassing as karaoke for most people in front of each other. What are you looking like? You think that you could actually...
No. I'm saying, we're going to talk about Sydney Sweeney in a second.
Yeah.
She is an accomplished karaoke singer.
Sydney is.
But you're talking Scooter.
Yeah, I am assuming if she's going to get up and sing at some point, Scooter's got to sing too.
Which he did in Ventura County.
Yes, they went out to do a little karaoke in Ventura County. This was last weekend, was it?
No, it was about 2 days ago. 2 days ago.
Yeah, so that would have been... All right, well, Monday.
It was Monday.
Well, let's see how they did. It's cheating. I'm sorry. Sorry, Scooter. That's cheating. Yeah, that song, there's no pressure on you because the entire crowd is going to sing along too, which is why he selected it, I'm sure.
But there might be a plan behind this.
Oh, what do you think the plan is?
Mamma Mia Part 2.
Yes, it's very interesting that she's singing ABBA because Amanda Seyfried, they had that movie together,
Right.
The Housemaid. Amanda has said that she wanted Sydney to be a part of the new Mamma Mia reboot. And ABBA, huge part of Mamma Mia, I could totally see Sydney making that her next move.
I don't think this is coincidence. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't either.
don't think it's coincidence that she did this.
Yeah, I mean, I love ABBA, but I can't think of
You think it was like
that
an
being a
audition
go-to.
for Amanda? It's like, hey, Amanda, see, I'm ready to do this.
Yes!
I can't say why I think it, but there are reasons I think it. That this might be
intentional.
I think it's intentional.
A dry run. Well, the crowd loved it.
She'd be perfect for that movie.
And
too.
she does this. She's done this in Florida all the time.
Yes,
we get. It's a
in the
thing that she
Keys.
does with all her friends.
Yeah.
So it must be love with Scooter.
Hi, my name is Shayla. I'm from Florida. In my opinion on Sydney and Scooter being seen out karaokeing is just two celebrities being two normal people having such a great time, especially for Sydney dropping her lingerie line and acting in Euphoria. It's just a great way for her to have fun and chill and not always make it about business.
Speaking of the lingerie line, Charlie, is it a coincidence?
Are you gonna
ask
me if I'm gonna wear her
No.
lingerie?
No. Is it is it a coincidence? Sydney drops her lingerie line, and then all of a sudden the Kardashians start coming out with lingerie. In fact,
Well, that's unfair because Kim has had Skims for quite some
wait a minute,
time.
Alexa,
Yes,
you know
she has had it, but
they started coming out with all of this.
By the way, It should be intentional.
I will say that Kim posted a lingerie photo shortly after Sydney did come out with her really sexy looking lingerie photos, and Kim has never really like worn something like this before, so maybe it is a little coincidence. But
by the way, that's smart business.
Exactly, they both look amazing.
You can't just give up that corner. You're working it.
Give up the corner?
Well, you know what I mean. The market. I meant the market. Well, Zach Bryan's ex, Brianna Chicken Fry, has some strong feelings about his marriage.
And her looks.
And the new bride's looks. And Brianna's looks. So we showed you this video of Zach and his bride. They got married over in, was it Spain? Yeah, I think they were in Spain. And yes, a lot of people were looking at
I love that car.
His wife and saying, why does she look familiar? Well, guess what?
They're cousins.
I mean, no, they're not cousins. I mean, maybe they are. But Brianna also noticed this, and she thinks it was not a coincidence. This is what she told Logan Paul on his podcast.
Men do sometimes be having a type. Because
But no one before me ever looked like me.
Hit him with that.
I mean, let's just be real. Like, it was such, I don't know if you guys know anything about narcissists, but like, this is what they do. Like, his whole entire literal wedding and yeah, people say you are one,
Yeah,
right?
for sure they say that.
I have so many questions to ask you too. But like, all of that was like a dig at me. Like, it's so apparent and obvious.
You think he got married as a dig at you? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just
you don't know the
reiterating.
guy? And like, that's what's gonna get clipped.
I swear to God, next country music festival I'm
not
at,
saying
he's gonna
dating.
jump over a fence to fight me.
I'm not saying
I'm
married,
telling you, I know
but like
it.
dating her was
No?
to get at me.
She walked it back because they were asking.
Once they reacted
well,
the
they
way
were
they
asking
did.
good questions because that is the question. You're saying he married a woman to spite
jab at you
because.
He's going to put himself in that situation.
That's crazy talk.
She was right. That definitely was the part of the interview that got clipped and went everywhere. So she was right there. But like, no debate. They look exactly alike.
They do look
and
alike.
clearly he has a type. But
but she's saying he doesn't.
But
she's saying that he never dated anybody who looked like me until he dated me, and then he
I get what she's saying, but for her to say that he married a girl to basically spite her is insanity.
It was a little weird to have
It's
her
insanity.
saying he's a narcissist. But it's all about me.
It's all about me. And but they were good. They were good questioners. They jumped on that.
Yeah.
She should have took that $12 million or whatever he allegedly offered her.
Oh,
Because now I mean, I guess she wouldn't have got to do this whole like tour about him after, but
right. And she also talked about the NDA and why she wouldn't sign it. And yeah, I guess that amount, if it was that amount of money, wasn't enough.
Hi, my name's Andrew from Long Island, New York. I think this story is fascinating because Zach's new wife definitely bears an uncanny resemblance to Brianna. And I think this just goes to show you that it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or not, you could be a classic narcissist. And it seems that Zach Bryan fits that bill.
Well, I wonder what Samantha Bryan thinks of that interview.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
does she look at it and go like,
she's not going to say, I mean, no. She's going to say, that's ridiculous. She's going to say...
Is she going to go, it's ridiculous, or will she go...
Well, she knows she looks like
She already knows that,
She already
right.
knows that.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Uh-oh.
Look who's here.
I always love a guest
bearing
with
gifts.
snacks.
Bearing gifts.
It's a birthday gift.
It's
I
this man's
understand.
birthday.
Bearing
It's
gifts.
this man's birthday. For his birthday. That's for you.
All right.
Be right back.
Uh-oh.
Look who's here.
I always love a guest with
bearing
snacks.
gifts. Bearing gifts.
It's a birthday gift.
It's
I
this man's
understand.
birthday.
Bearing
It's
gifts.
this man's birthday. For his birthday. That's for you.
All right.
You know what I'm
I'll give
saying?
you a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Coach.
Wait a minute.
Look at this. You got your
You
gear
got
on?
him just chips?
No.
You know he
because I know what he like to eat, but you gonna give him the real chips because he's been working you for 13 years. So it's time for you to bring the chips.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He's his agent.
Yes.
I am so glad you're here. Your son,
Yes.
Mercy, is killing it
Yes.
at University of Houston.
Yes.
Can you get him to transfer?
You know,
come on, tell him to get that transfer. Don't
that's
come
what-
on over to New
that-
Orleans.
That's what everybody was saying, but I want him to do what he need to do. as a young athlete and go chase his dreams and his goals, and I want him. He's making a name for himself. Remember when we started this, he did that same dunk like that at Notre Dame in high school out here, so he was averaging 30 points a game out here. And so to just let God take him on his journey, and, you know, everybody said, bring him back to California. I'm like, you know, Samson is doing a great job with him. He's stronger, he's bigger, and this is his time to shine.
So we have this running debate in this newsroom about Nepo babies.
Yes.
And in basketball, the interesting thing is a lot of people say, and I gotta say myself included, Bronny is a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
But your son, I don't know. I mean, do you view it? Does he view this?
You know what? He been playing Bryan a long time in high school, but I love that everybody got their own journey. So with me, my son just been putting the hard work in. He's been getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, late at night, putting up shots, and he watched the greats be great. And so I told him I started off, I got this basket from Target when he was 3 years old, and he was dunking on it. I said, something different about this
See,
kid.
those things work, huh?
Yeah, it works.
It worked for me. Yeah, I had that same thing.
And he just kept growing. So he's a 6'4" point guard.
Yeah.
And I think that Houston
By the
got
way,
him.
that's why we're staying away from you, because he got it from you.
Yeah.
So we're standing back.
So he's doing well. How about you? I mean, because you're coaching now,
Yes.
and
I mean, think
you got
about it.
New
We just
Orleans.
talked about it. We done won way more games.
Listen,
But
last year they were 2-18. P comes and they're 10-8 in the conference
Oh, is
this
that
year.
right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
In 1 year.
we beat TCU.
Yeah.
TCU,
beat
one of the
TCU
top.
this
Yeah, we
year?
beat TCU. We beat Tulane. We beat a lot of great teams, but we still growing.
Yeah.
And my thing is now, as we get better and as we get more experience, I feel like we could get to the NCAA tournament, but we have to win our conference tournament first. So.
How does this work? So what year is he?
So Mercy this is his second year.
Second year?
He's a sophomore.
Is he gonna go into the draft?
We don't know yet. Like my thing
Come on,
is,
give us- who are we gonna tell?
No, I'm just saying. Look, let me tell you something. So the thing is, right? I look at Bronson's career. He stayed in college and he's playing with the Knicks now, and I think that's what I want to see for Mercy's career. Like, you know, stay in college. We got time.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Excellent. Well, see, everyone's on their own journey, right?
Yes.
Mercy's got his going. You've got yours going.
Yeah. So I'm on a journey. I want to tell y'all the journey I'm on, right? I got this character called Captain Ace. Go to Captain Ace. K9.com. We going into the school. We have a bully campaign. We have a stranger danger campaign like they had back in the days, bringing awareness. We're losing over 400,000 kids a year in the U.S., and we want to change that. So we got a stage play that we do in the schools.
That is so great you're doing
Captain
that,
Ace
man.
K9?
Captain Ace K9.com.
All right. When I was a kid, it was McGruff.
Yes.
The crime dog.
But think about it. So with McGruff, people couldn't figure it out because they showed the drugs into the school, and it started having a bad effect. My thing is, we realize now, right? A stranger is not just a good person or just having a suit on or something, right? A stranger could be a neighbor. It could be a friend.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, people getting abducted out of their houses. I mean, we seeing this. I seen you guys covering that, but what about the kids? So we have to prepare them for this. And so that's what I love about this school play that we're going into all the inner city schools right now and being able to help them with that.
Keep it up. It's really good seeing you.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
to see you.
Went
Pete.
from Master
Always.
P to Coach P.
Did the kids ever ask you for a concert?
I'm like, let me do what I do.
Always great to see you.
That's great.
All right.
See you, man.
Coming up.
President Trump is about to blow the lid off UFO conspiracy theories. According to his daughter-in-law, she says there is something he is just chomping at the bit to say about aliens.
Be right back.
One has to wonder what the trajectory of Michael's life would have been like had he not been burned in 1984.
And after that, he started developing this addiction.
Every single aspect of his life was impacted, and not in a good way.
TMZ presents Michael Jackson, 30 Fatal Seconds, Thursday at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
President Trump is about to blow the lid off UFO conspiracy theories, and maybe even make them go even deeper, because
he's going to say there are aliens among us.
According to his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, she says there is something he is just chomping at the bit to say about aliens.
What's funny is
we've kind of asked my father-in-law about this because we're like, well, what do you know? Because Miranda, we all want to know about the UFOs, or we all want to know what's going on. And he played a little coy with us. And so that, of course, led us to believe, Eric and I were like, oh my gosh, if he won't even like fully tell us, maybe there's more to it. And then I have just heard kind of around that, I think he's actually said, I think my father-in-law's actually said it, that there is some speech that he has that I guess at the right time, and I don't know when the right time is, he's gonna break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life, so to speak.
What's he waiting for?
What's
he waiting for?
Here's what I'll say. If anyone is going to give it up, it's Donald Trump. They're all cagey about it. Clinton has been cagey about it. Obama, whenever they're asked on late night shows. If someone's going to give up the goods, it's Donald Trump.
When does he hold a secret?
When he needs to change the narrative.
Exactly.
Right? He only holds it.
That's true. How about now?
Now's a good time,
Now's
right?
a good time. I don't think there's a speech.
I don't think
he would have given it now.
You think he couldn't hold it in?
It
would just burst out of him on Air Force One. They would just want to talk about it.
There have been plenty of times he's needed to change the narrative, and he hasn't played this card.
Hi, I'm Becca coming from Los Angeles, and my take on this whole Lara Trump alien speech thing is we have bigger fish to fry. I honestly think what you guys said is right. It is a distraction. We're seeing unprecedented levels of cruelty and abuses of power. And I mean, even Barack Obama talked about the aliens the other day. I think we have bigger concerns than the aliens right now, if we're being honest.
I'm interested in aliens is what I gotta say. I'm just real interested.
I don't think you're gonna learn anything from this president.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hey, I'm Amaya from Virginia. I hear that Mia Goth is concerned about Shia LaBeouf's situation in New Orleans. Girl, congratulations on your separation from him. I understand that they have a child together. He allegedly loves her, but is that the type of man you want to be around your child? I hope everyone gets the help they deserve.
I just think it's unfair to say allegedly loves her. I mean, he loves the child. Give him that. Give him just that. One more.
I'm Claire. I'm from New York, and my comment is that Brandi Glanville is absolutely lying about having a parasite in her face. It's so clear to me that she just wanted to get all of her filler dissolved so that she could get a facelift. And it's obvious because she doesn't even know if it was a parasite or a virus.
Wait. You think taking fillers out would do that?
Yeah, if you had like 30 years of concrete filler in your face, I don't think that she's always getting the best kind. I think she's leaving it in too long. We know from her boob job story that she'll leave anything in there for as long as she feels like it. I don't think she's living a healthy lifestyle. I don't think she's Gwyneth Paltrow, okay? I think maybe her skin's struggling. She is older. This is what people look like when they've filled up their face and then deflated it.
Wow, that was good. You scared me.
Coming up.
HHS Secretary RFK Jr. has found a new recruit in the Make America Healthy Again campaign.
He's a kid.
He's a kid, but he rocks. This video of Kid Rock and RFK Jr. working out together is hilarious for so many different reasons.
Be right back.
Well, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. has found a new recruit in the Make America Healthy Again campaign.
He's a kid.
He's a kid, but he rocks. This video of Kid Rock and RFK Jr. working out together is hilarious for so many different reasons.
RFK Jr. is in good shape. He's in great shape.
I don't know who works out in jeans
Nobody.
that hard.
He does. He goes to my gym, and he wore jeans at the gym all the time. I will say that
cold plunging in jeans?
No, that's ridiculous. He's kind of a goofball, but I will say his uncle really started the physical fitness campaign in America, and he started it, so he's continuing it, and it's good. Look, whatever you think of his politics and his views on vaccines and everything else, physical fitness is a good idea.
The healthy stuff, yes,
it's
totally down with that.
It's a good idea. Jeans, not a good idea. We'll see you tomorrow.